Okay, welcome to our fourth lesson. The fourth lesson is on inputting from the keyboard, and I already have the program pre-set up. As you know, I have the topics up above here. On the top, I have a heading, author, date, something about the program. And the name of this class is called Public Class Inputting, because we're going to teach you how to input from the keyboard. Now, I move my begins and ends so they lined up. That's just my preference. Again, you could leave the begin up here if you want at the end of inputting. Public static void main string args. Again, I move my begin and end so they line up. If you notice, everything's tabbed nice and neat. It's one thing about being a good programmer is style. And notice I have my declaration section up here. Remember, try to declare all variables at the top. Okay, so I have my declare variables up here. I also initialize them to some values, 0 for the numerical ones, false for the Boolean one, and letter A for a character. If you notice my naming, again, since we're just doing random numbers, they don't mean anything. I put int num1, int num2. Again, by naming it this way, if this was something like age, I would go something like int age. Tells me two things. When I see the variable down here in the code at the bottom, and I see int, I know one, it's an integer, and seeing age, I know it pretty much represents someone's age. So that we bring that concept over from Visual Basic as well. No different than naming. It tells me two things about the variable when I see this. Especially this first part, it tells me that it's an integer, and then this should be descriptive of what it holds. Okay, so I'm just using num1, num2 for now. Okay, same way with double, I call it DBL. If this was a tax, maybe DBL tax. I know two things about that memory location. One, it's a double because of DBL, and two, it's a tax because the second name is tax. Boolean flag and char letter are my other ones. Today we're going to talk about scanner class, and again we use scanner. You could think of scanner. I know this is a class because it's uppercase. Remember, everything that's uppercase is a class. Okay, even though we didn't go over classes yet, just get that in your head that if a word begins with uppercase, most likely it's a class. Okay, and when we have a class, you could think of this as a blueprint. And when you have a blueprint, think of building a house. You could use that blueprint to build multiple houses, and the houses will all be the same if you use the same blueprint. So now we're going to create our object, and usually most people use the word console, if I can spell it correctly, or they use the word input. Okay, you can give it whatever you name it once, just as long as you follow the naming criteria, just like in variables, the same naming criteria. Notice it's lowercase. All objects should be lowercase. And again, most people use the word console or the word input. Try to stay with, so people know, hey, this is coming from the console, or this is being inputted from the keyboard. People know what that means. So you want to have it be descriptive. And we go equal new. We use the new operator, and this allows us to create a new object. And we type scanner again, parentheses, system.in. And I know this probably doesn't make sense, but just get in the habit of writing it for now. It'll make more sense when we go over classes. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and run this, and it will have an error. I did it on purpose. It should have an error. And the error was scanner console equals new scanner. Cannot find symbol. So it doesn't know what scanner is. If you remember beginning our lesson previously, other lessons, we have to import java.util. Now I can either type the word scanner, or I can put star. Remember, scanner allows me to bring in the scanner class and everything with the scanner class, or I can just bring star, which brings in basically access to everything in the util package. So I did that on purpose just to bring back some memories about import. When we do scanner, we need the java.util package. So let's go ahead and run this again. Make sure it's process complete. Okay, so that solved our error. Okay, and again, this is where we're going to start in our input section. Okay, remember I said divide your code up into sections. You put all your decorations up on top first, and then we're going to do our inputs. And I did a little bit of each type of input. We have an integer, double, boolean, and char. Okay, so first thing you need to do is prompt the user. And if you remember from outputting, we use system.out.print, or we could use print line. It's up to you. Okay, and we're going to say input and integer. Okay, and don't forget to close your double quotes and semicolon. Notice they all have semicolons here. Okay, so this message will be prompt to the user to tell them to type in input an integer, and now we need to retrieve that integer. And I'm going to use int num1, int num. Remember, it is case sensitive, so must match cases, so num has to be capitalized, equals, and it's going to be console, the name of the object. I want to access the next int method. Okay, so inside of this object are many methods. One of them is called next int, and int num, and it does not get indented. It should be all in line here. And let's go ahead and output the result system dot out dot print, and I want to just output int num. I don't have to put that in double quotes. If I put that in double quote, it would actually output the word int num1. I want to output its value. Remember, that is a storage. That's a memory location that can hold a value. And I want to output the value. So by putting it without the quotes, it allows me to go ahead and input the value. Okay, and with a semicolon. And again, this is my input section. So I know, like, when I'm scanning through my comments, and if it's a real long program, I just go down here, hey, declared variables, here's my variables, here's my input section, here's my process. So I can look down through the code and I know exactly where I'm at and what I'm looking for. And then again, down here will be my output section. Remember, there's another section in between we didn't get to yet. Is the process, which will be next when we talk about mathematics. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Process complete, that's always good. Input an integer, so 7 is an integer. Let's go ahead with 7, and notice it outputted 7. Okay, so this 7 represents what we inputted, and it outputs 7. Okay, now again, there are a lot of methods inside of console, because this is, remember, this is an object of this class. This is the blueprint scanner, and console is the object, and inside of console with many methods. Methods are just small programs, okay? And you could identify a method because it has parentheses. Here we have print line is a method because it has a parentheses. Main is a main method. Remember, we call it the main driver, the main method, because it has parentheses. Next int is a method because it has parentheses. So anytime you see a word followed by parentheses, you're pretty much dealing with a method. And methods are just small programs. You don't know how it works, but all you know it does is retrieves the integer or number and puts it inside of int num1. Now assignments are always made from right to left. That means this goes out into what we call the input stream, finds 7, gets it, and puts it in to int num. So it takes it and carries it over and puts it into int num1. Okay, so int num1 now holds 7, and we output it as 7. Okay, so I brought up one of my slideshows. Might not fit. Okay, and here are some of the methods inside the scanner class. Now we're going to be working with a couple of these. Next, next line, next int, next double, next boolean. Again, we don't work with float, long, or short because they're not part of the AP exam. And notice there's no next char. Okay, there is a next boolean, but there's no next char. Okay, let's go over this one first. Next, okay, if I'm typing a string, like a text, The dog barks at the moon. Next, we'll get the word the. So when I call next, it gets the word the. Okay? It doesn't get the whole string. If I put for next line, the dog barks at the moon, it will actually get the entire line. The dog barks at the moon. And returns that, and we'll put it into a string object later on. We didn't get to strings yet, so we will get to that later on. Next int, it's looking for an integer value. Okay. These methods go out to the input stream and see if it can find an integer, in this case, excuse me, and brings in 7 in this case. Next double, it goes into input stream and looks for the next double. Okay. And double, remember, represents decimal values, numbers with decimals. Boolean represents true or false. It's looking for a true or false statement. Okay. Later on, we'll discuss char. Hopefully, we have enough time in this. We can do that. Okay. So let's get back to our program. Okay. And let's try a couple other ones. Okay. I'm trying to look at my time, and it's running out already. Let's try a double, DBL. And I called it, I'm sure, num1, or I just called it num equals console dot next double. And it will not, it would work, but there's missing something. I need to prompt the user, okay, because it's going to just wait, and it looks like your screen's frozen, but it's waiting for an input value. So somehow the user has to know to type in an input value. So I need to put a system.out.println input decimal. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun. And then I'm going to go ahead, and what I'll do is just copy, paste, and I'm going to put DBL num here. Okay, and again we'll run this. Process is complete. Input an integer. This time I'm inputting 3. Input a decimal. I'm putting 3.3, and notice 3 was outputted, and then this is actually 3.3. And you're like, well, this is 33.3. It's actually not, because I use print, not print line. Okay, so let's do print line. Oops, it's LN. Not IN. And running this again, and I'm down to 12 minutes. I'm at the 12-minute mark. And put in integer 3 and 3.3, and now we have 3 and 3.3. Okay, and again, we could do this the same thing with strings and words, but we didn't get into strings, so I'm not covering that. You're wondering about letter. Okay, Boolean is the same thing. You just type in true or false. Let's get to letter. Letter is kind of unique because there is no next letter. Okay, so to input char, we do this. We go ahead and create our console, and we go char, and I just called it dude, equals console.next. Remember, that gets the next word. Char at 0 gets the first letter of that word. So if I put the dog barks at the moon, T is in the very first position, in the 0 position we say, and since this is next, it gets the word the, and this gets 0 position, which is T, and puts T inside of dude. Okay, so let's see if we could do this real fast. I'm at 14 minutes. Might not make it. Okay. So char dude, I'll just leave everything alone there. And system dot out dot print line. And I'm going to just type enter letter semicolon, and right here I just change this to dude. Okay, let's run this. I'm at 14:30. I know I probably have errors. Nope, no errors. Input an integer 3, decimal 3.3, letter. I'm going to put the, and it should output T. and it does. Notice the T was outputted. It's the very first letter. Okay, and if you type in the one letter, it would actually take that letter. Okay, this